right, what's going on, everyone? So got a call. I'm up here in Aberdeen and I got a truck with a no start, so I'm not really sure what's going on with it. He's broke down here in the right turn lane here, so we're gonna find out what's going on with his truck. They said he was at the Bob Evans, but he's in front of it. Like I said, he's in his right turn lane right now, so we're gonna check it out, see what's going on with the truck, and then go from there. See what we're gonna get into on this one. So I'm writing my time down. This another company wants you to write your arrival time down. Not really sure why, because at the end time you can really just, you know, like, okay, I've been there for an hour. Anyway, let me get a fresh pair of gloves here. Last night I dropped my box. The gloves fell out into a puddle, so I had to turn the box upside down, drained all the water out. Hopefully they were dry by tonight. They look like they are. They kind of feel kind of wet still, but either way. So we're gonna check this truck out, see what's going on with it. I don't think it's, I'm gonna say shut down. No start to me is that he gets in his truck and it don't start in a way. Either cranks or won't fire, or it won't crank at all. So let's check her out, see what we got. Make sure my passenger side door is locked. All right, here we go.
What's happening?
What's going on?
So I really think this is what happened. I mean, this was kind of loose, right?
Right.
So, but this was, this like should just flopped right off and it drained out.
Right.
Because when I looked at it, that's what it looked like. But it's like normally it sits on there a lot more snug than it.
Well, that's because what it is, this is supposed to be like that. What it is, you turn this open and it lets the fuel out. So it's just.
So it was, if it was,
it was
tight,
just, if it was tight, probably wouldn't have done it. But when you back this off, it opens up a spout inside there and then it drains the fuel.
So that's okay. So maybe last time they did a service on it or something, you think that somebody might have left it a little loose?
Possible.
Because I mean, it was, you know, I mean, it shouldn't be like.
Well, see, they give you the hole so you can stick something in there, kind of. You don't want Superman tighten on it, but if they did it by hand, or you know, maybe they thought they tightened enough, or got, you know, had to go do something else. And
Yeah, no, like I said, I explained, you know, the shop was bringing a driver up.
Okay.
And, you know, I told him I'd call him, but I said, because they said, oh, were you going to cancel that? Because I explained to him what was up, and he said, oh, we can, you know, I wish they would have called them, you know, and said, hey, look, it's probably something simple, but,
right.
But like I said, I can't drive the truck. They got to get a driver to come up and drive it if we get it running.
What, are you out of hours?
Yeah, like 10 o'clock I ran out.
Yeah, see, they said no start. Well, my boss gave me the information, and he got down there no start. He said you were in the Bob Evans, so I thought, you know, you might have been starting your shift or whatever, and it just wasn't starting or not cranking or something.
I basically, at that light, it was running fine, and basically I went to step on the accelerator, and it was like, it sputtered. It sounds just like it would when it runs out of fuel.
Right.
It was just kind of like, and then I tried starting it, and then when I got out of the truck, like I said, I saw the fuel on the ground, and that thing was just dangling.
Yeah, it's empty. It probably was leaking out when you were going down the road. God damn it. Hey, when they put these things on tight. They're not supposed to be that tight. Jesus. Alright. So yeah, I guess they put a new fuel filler in there, but I don't like these kind here anyway. Hey, you know, just for that.
Like the old one,
they had the valve, yeah, just to switch up and down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are, I mean, they've been out for a while, but I don't come across too many of them. Let me see if I can get something to fit in there. I'll kind of torque it, and then I'll fill it up. Don't have a primer, so it might be a bitch to get rolling started again, unless I cheat, but we'll try my way first. And I don't have a primer pump on it, so But it's a Davco. We'll see what happens. So let me just clean that up a little bit with a rag with some brake clean, and let me see if I can get something in here and just kind of torque it a little bit. All right, so it looks like he lost prime. So we're going to go ahead and reprime the system and see if it runs. But first I want to clean up. I want to clean up a little bit of fuel and stuff. Can't have fuel dripping either. So if there's fuel dripping, even though it's not leaking, and it gets inspected, they can shut them down until somebody comes out there to verify he doesn't have an actual leak. So let me see if I got something. I mean, even a little Allen will work. Where's my little Allen's at? That's pretty much it, all it is. I wonder if this will be big enough. There, that one will probably work better. Alright, so let's clean this up. We're gonna get him primed up. This one doesn't have a primer pump where I can just prime it first, so it's a matter, I mean, with the Davco filters, they're supposed to self-prime anyway, but sometimes they're hard to self-prime. So we're just gonna clean this up a little bit. And brake clean dries fuel out. So it dries fuel, oil, whatever. I love brake clean, but it'll dry that out. And let's see. That's probably gonna be too big. No, it's not. Okay, we'll use that one. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna kind of tighten it a little bit. This is why they have the holes in here. You stick something in there, bam, like that. If you can't back it off with your hand, you should be good to go. You don't want to over tighten it. Over tighten it, then you're gonna bust it, and then you're screwed because nobody keeps them in stock. All right, so we got that done. So let's prime them up and hope it's not going to be a bitch to get running again. Sometimes they are without primer pump. But like I said, Davco, once I fill it up, it's going to self-prime. You might see bubbles going. You'll see the fuel maybe go down so it gets through the fuel lines to the injectors. All right. Well, he was easy to find. Take one of these old oil rags. One of these off here. This is my, yep, that's my small funnel. All right, let's get him rolling. Of course, you can't drive the truck now because he's out of hours, so they got a driver coming. So hopefully we can get him running before the next driver. This bottle I got, it sucks. So let me get this out here. I'll start pouring it. It's not gonna go all on the ground. All right, let's see what happens. All right, maybe down there, right around there. Okay. All right, let's pour some of this in here. Oops, don't spill it. Oh, there it goes. I knew that was going to happen. Give me a second. All right, let's try that. I don't want to pour too fast or overflow it out of the filter. But I can't see any fuel in there, so he's lost his prime. I like to fill it up pretty much like that. That's actually going to go down once he gets it running, or once we get it running. So put this down on the ground. Take the fuel pack. Gotta get me up, find me a better jug. Clean the top off here. And these O-rings that they put on these caps are supposed to put a little diesel fuel on them, so they're moist, not put them on dry, because then you have trouble getting them off. But This thing was over tightened. When you tighten this, it's supposed to click like that. Once it clicks, that's done. You're done. You don't have to keep clicking it, over tighten it, then you'll never get it off. All right, driver. So what you do is once you crank it, kind of hold the pedal to the floor. If it starts catching, try to keep your RPMs up until it smooths out. It's already taking fuel. As we saw the bubble. All right, do me a favor, turn the key off. Just turn the key on for a minute. I'm gonna let the fuel pump side do a little bit of some work here. All right, so that noise you hear, that's the fuel pump going. So what we're doing is we're going to turn the key on and off a couple times. The fuel pump will go off. Trying to get it to prime here. Okay, do me a favor, turn the key off again. All right, turn it back on. And then the fuel pump goes back on. The fuel pump only runs for so long. Couldn't be a Detroit. Detroit has a primer pump.
I was going to say, these things, they only got maybe a half dozen of them.
Yeah.
I mean, for like, I've run down like National Harbor and stuff. We got guys that run in the city, Bethesda, but they haven't, I don't know, they've been a little bit of a headache.
Right. Okay, go ahead and turn it off, turn it back on, and crank it and kind of hold it to the floor. Just turn the key on. If I have to, I can spray a little starting fluid in there if I got to. But if I do that, leave the key on. Don't turn that key off. If I decide to use a little bit of starting fluid, even though my starting fluid's got lubricancy in it, I got to make sure it cycles through first. And I'll just put a little bit in there to help it out. But if it doesn't work, don't turn the key all the way off. All right, turn it off and let's give it a try again. You holding the pedal to the floor, right? Okay. All right. I'll be back, hang on. All right, this thing's gonna be a pain in the ass to get primed. All right, turn the key on. Let me know when it all cycles through. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I want you to crank it. I'm gonna spray a little bit in there, mess with the fuel pellet so I know it's running on its own, okay?
But you're saying don't turn it.
No, if you have to let up, if we have to give the starter a break, just let off the key. Don't turn it off. Just let go. All right. All right, go ahead. Okay, do it again. Do me a favor, just idle up a little bit for me in case there's any air. Oh, you do have it on.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say.
I'm sorry.
It's jumping, it won't go past 14.
Yeah, okay, I got you. I'm not used to that. Usually, you know, when I say idle up, they vary. Okay, keep it idle for a bit. That way it works the air out, and I'll be right back. All right, so it's all running. No air bubbles. It's probably because this was loose. So I got it tight. And yeah, so as long as there's no bubbles, it's good to go. It's not taking in air in the fuel system. So these Cumminses, it can be sometimes a pain in the ass to actually get started. So if you keep cranking on it, you don't keep cranking on it all that time, because you can overheat the starter, and you don't want to overheat the starter. Some of these trucks don't have the overheat protection, and you can actually burn out a starter, or you're going to wear the batteries down. And then I gotta put jumper cables on it and charge his batteries back up. So that's the most important thing. You don't crank the truck until you overheat the starter. Like I said, I'm not sure if this one has a over crank protection or not, but they really don't want to find out. What I mean by over crank protection, if you crank it too much, the truck will stop cranking, and you'll get a code that says starter overheated and cooled down, and that can take like 20 minutes. So yep. Okay, so he's up and running. There's no air bubbles going through the DAFCO, so he looks like he's good to go, but he can't drive now because he's out of hours. So he's got to wait for the other driver to come to take his truck. So all right, so this one was a pretty fast one. All right, so that's gonna do it. And if I didn't say it, this is Thursday night. It was about 10:48 p.m. right now. So it's Thursday night, out in front of Bob Evans over here. Got a truck running. So yeah, so until the next call, I'll see y'all in the next one.